This is Maurice Jones-Drew, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show.
You're listening to the What's Bruin Show, part of the What's Bruin Show network, with your hosts, Jake Berryfield and Mike Regalado, and occasionally some friends, talking all things UCLA sports. And now, it's time for the What's Bruin Show.
Hello, and welcome to What's Bruin. First time in a long time. It's What's Bruin Show on the What's Bruin Show network. I'm your host, Jake Merrifield, and in a few minutes, I'm going to bring on my good buddy, Mike. We're going to catch up because we haven't seen each other in a while because I was in Canada, and I was in Berkeley. Now I'm here in the What's Bruin studios in the Northwest Valley. And we're here to talk about the future of UCLA athletics. Football season's coming up. Basketball still out there, recruiting. All those other cool sports. I'm sure Mike will have a lot to say about that. But before that, on Twitter, at What's Bruin Show. Instagram and Threads, same thing. Email is whatsbruinshow@gmail.com. whatsbruin.substack.com or patreon.com/whatsbruinshow or just whatsbruinshow.com are where you can go to support the What's Bruin Show for just a few bucks a month, right? Patreon, it's $2.
$2.
On Substack, it's a little bit more, although I was able to finally change the annual option on Substack to be more, to fit more in with the Patreon. So you're more than welcome to do that, and we appreciate your support, of course. You can also search up What's Bruin Show on YouTube, and there'll be a slideshow to go along with the audio of this podcast. And you can get your merch at My Locker site. Look down below in the show notes. And last but not least, you can call the What's Bruin hotline, 805-399-4WBS, Suckerman and Troy. I'm going to have lunch with them tomorrow. We're going to go to a diner and have a dining experience. And we might even get in a quick, 15-minute little mini pod. We'll see. If we do, I'll publish it.
Go Bruins! I was actively rooting for UCLA today, and it makes me feel dirty.
See, they love the Bruins. If you are a subscriber, I will do a series of podcasts, at least one that I already recorded, and hopefully a couple more on my recent trip to Berkeley and why I went up there, and also probably my vacation to Canada, which was so much fun. I went to Toronto and Quebec City and to Montreal, and I do want to share some of that experience with you guys, but it'll be on the subscriber feed. So if that sounds interesting to you, it'll be on the Patreon or on the Substack.
$2.
And if it doesn't, then you don't have to worry about it at all. So let me get Mike on the horn here, and then we will probably do some headlines and argue about why he hates Bronny James so much. It's very inexplicable to me, but hey, I don't know. And catch up. Okay, Mikey, it's been a few weeks. I'm looking at you via FaceTime, and you look well, although maybe a little sweaty there. I don't know if you got the air pumping, but it is summertime in Southern California, and it's good to see you, buddy. How are you doing? It's been that kind of few weeks for Mikey. That's okay, but it is good to see you.
It's been subpar, Jake. It's been subpar.
That's a shame. That is a shame. In fact, I think you have some. Murray wants to say something to you.
That's
Hold
a
on,
shame.
Mike.
That's a shame.
What a shame. What a shame.
Thanks, Murray.
All right, well,
Jake, really quickly, did you get a chance to listen to the interview I did the last time we had a show 2 weeks ago with Steve Tannen from Oregon Radio?
Yeah, great job, dude. That was wonderful. And I was going to mention that too. Yeah, if you haven't had a chance, go back and listen to that in the feed. And I will, if you're on Patreon or the Substack, I'll publish that all in a batch, like with Jamal's Father's Day episode too, which was very nice. He had a nice little tribute to Jerry West. I'll put that on there too. That was very cool. But yeah, good job. Good job with the Tannen.
Thank you. But yeah, no, that guy is just awesome. And we both are lining up some interviews for this summer. So I wanted to start with that, even though Oregon obviously is a Pac-12 school, former Pac-12 school. I do want to get into, yeah, right. Seriously. I want to get into the meat and potatoes of, the
Big Ten schedule.
How could I say the previous members of the Big Ten.
All right.
So I might have one lined up with Illinois. I'm going to try to get something lined up with maybe a Minnesota person, possibly a Rutgers person. So yeah, no, this we're going to have a lot of in-depth stuff this summer. So
good.
I recorded
I recorded a pod while I was up in Berkeley moving Megan out of her apartment. And while I opened that up with an apology, because that I was planning on kind of trying to do the same thing and hitting a couple of those beat reporters from other places as well, and I failed because I've been, I got sidetracked. So that's good, Mike. It's good to hear that. I'm glad that we're on the ball, and by I mean you. Glad you're on the ball, because I'm not. It's a good job. Kudos to you.
It's a collective thing. Jake, you've been well, not off the grid. You've been off the American grid for a while. So
I was abroad. Yes, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. I had a good time. Anywho, Mikey. Why don't we just get to the headlines? And I think that's what the show is going to be, just kind of catching up on what we've been missing out on and what's going on. So, Brofield headlines with Mikey, that guy. Here we go.
Mike Regalado.
Big applause, Big Mike.
Iron Mike.
That's me.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, we have a few. I mean, there's been some like legitimate news other than just recruiting for everybody right now,
which is crazy. Like, how did recruiting? Like, this is the best time of year for recruiting, but how did it become now? But I like it better now than I did in all these other stupid times during the year. Way better than December. Mm-hmm. My God. But it's cool. I hope it stays like this.
Yeah, and I have a feeling, which thank God, this summer is going to go by quickly. Simply because there's just right. We're already in the second half of the year. When did that happen? Which I'm all for, because one, summer sucks. Two, that just means we're a lot closer to college football. And like I said, we're going to be getting into a lot of that predictions very soon. Jake, we're going to have to do our loose midsummer schedule planning soon.
Yes.
to try to figure out. We got to see if Jamal's maybe going to be in the LA area anytime soon, or get him on the phone and then get Bill over so we can do some predictions.
Yeah,
schedule predictions. But
we'll see.
Your poutine buddy.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I'll start off with women's basketball, and I'm going to do this. I do this story. I started doing this type of story last year with just football. Then I'm like, especially with all the transfers, I wanted to look at how women's basketball and men's basketball, how their returning and added transfer statistical production looks like. And, the Bruins lost 6 players, but they're bringing 3 in, as well as 4 freshmen. But obviously you can't, gauge their high school stats on what they're going to do in college. But
right.
The 3 players that they are bringing in, Janaea Baker, Charlize Leisure Walker, and why am I blanking on the last one? It'll come to me right now. I just wanted to look. Yeah, exactly. Jake, you should be on top of this. Tamia Gardner from Oregon State. Anyway, just don't want to give it away, but just for example, last year UCLA had 2,629 points. They returned 72.8% of that from the players returning.
Nice.
They also add 39.9%, which means that they have putting it all together, and this is all just, hypothetical of what the production can be. UCLA has 2,964, which is 112.7% of their production from last year. So I go into points, rebounds, steals, blocks, and assists with that.
That deserves an 8 clap, Mike.
Do it.
Fight!
Or that, whatever that is.
Yeah. And I'm also going to be doing, I'm not sure when I'm going to release this, but I'm also going to be doing the same thing for the men's. And just as an example, for points, last year, where is it? UCLA had 2,177 with all their added production. Where is it? I think it's something crazy like, damn it, I have the number here. With all the 6 guys that they're bringing back, they just overload the statistical production numbers, and it's pretty freaking exciting, especially since a lot of guys left, like 4 guys left, and they're bringing they have a total of 13 players. The statistical production is just insane when you put it all together.
Go Bruins.
And with the men adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 transfers, adding all of their statistics from last year. Yeah, just points alone, UCLA will be returning 169.2% of their statistical point, their point production from last year.
Wowza.
Damn. So the only drawback is, like, obviously those guys played different minutes. They played in different systems, and you can't obviously put all of that on the court at the same time. So Cronin definitely has quite a bit of work to do with that. But for the most part, that's freaking excellent. So, and then I'm going to get into football too, to see what UCLA, what they return, as well as that added transfer production. So that's in the works for the future. So
very cool.
Yeah, just quick info on that. Mr. Adem Bona, he got selected by the Philadelphia 76ers in the second round. And
let's go Boner.
Yeah, good for him. Dude, this was did you see the NBA draft?
I was just keeping tabs on. I did not see it, but I heard he shouted out Ben Bolch, friend of the show, Ben Bolch. That's kind of fun.
Nice.
He's like, tell Ben Bolch what's up.
This was the first time the NBA draft spanned 2 days.
Yeah,
that was weird. Yeah, it was like Wednesday it started at 5, and then on Thursday it started at 1 p.m. I think it was.
Yeah, they didn't really need to do that, especially for like the second round was the second round. But it was the only reason anybody was even paying attention to the second round this year is just because of the story we're talking about next was Bronny. But under normal circumstances, nobody could give a flying crap other than like us wondering where Bona's going to go. You know, nobody cares except for about like one particular player that they're rooting for. No one cares about the second round anyway, so it's like kind of dumb to put it into the into a second day, in my opinion. But whatever, they did it. We'll see if they keep doing it going forward. Because I mean, at least the NFL draft is like a dozen rounds or whatever. I mean, the NBA it's so short anyway. It's like, why break it up?
Well, there are 80 million positions in football.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I mean, though.
There are only 5 in basketball.
Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah. So Bona goes to the Sixers. He is probably going to be the next. Like, he's got a legit chance now that they got PG over there and stuff. Like,
right.
He's gonna be on a good team. So I'll be rooting. Yeah. I'll be rooting for him to stick it to the Celtics for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they chose Bonas for 41st overall, and I believe this is the 5th Bruin in 3 years to be taken, and he's also the 125th Bruin to be taken in the NBA draft, which is second all time behind Kentucky, who has 140. So there's that. So that was pretty cool.
The other good thing about the bonus story is that you heard, even though, like I said, he's a second round draft pick, there's no guarantee that he'll, nothing's guaranteed with second round draft picks. Most of the time, more often than not, these guys don't really do anything in the NBA, although there are some very notable exceptions. Probably the biggest one right now is Jalen Brunson for the Knicks, who was an early second round pick. But everybody liked the pick, Bona going to the 76ers, and everybody had complimentary things to say about Bona through the draft process. And that was good. He really represented himself very well, and by extension represented the school very well. So, I mean, I think he's an easy guy to root for, I think, for sure. And, like I said, as long as they're not playing the Lakers, I'll have fun rooting for him in the NBA now going forward.
Yeah, exactly. So I did have another basketball story, but you wanted to ask me a few questions, Jake.
Mike, we talking about the second round of the NBA, and and basically the whole reason that it was notable is because Bronny James was in the draft, and the big story was like when he was going to get drafted and all that stuff and yada yada yada. But he ends up going 55th to the Lakers, Mike, you have the only reason I'm asking you this is you've tweeted numerous times about old Bron, about little Bronny, and about the Lakers, and you embroiled the What's Bruin Show Twitter account into you got me, tweeting, subtweeting on our own account versus you. I threatened a knife fight against you, actually, with one of our buddies. It was like, Mikey, what do you got against old poor little Bronny? He went in the second round. Who cares? He's the 55th pick overall.
It's actually, nothing against him. I'm sure he's a good kid. But he's also an athlete. I'm sure he's a little spoiled. But
I'm sure, no doubt.
It's more about the ineptitude of the Lakers bowing to whatever LeBron James wants, which is weird because he's done nothing for this team as of late. First round exit, yeah, not good. And like, what's the come of it? They're not bringing in a proper talent. And yeah, a lot of people when I tweeted that stuff out, I was like, oh, when was the last time a 55th pick or whatever made an impact on a team? I'm like, well, you're still leaving other players out that are more deserving. I mean, the fact that he got drafted and Boogie Ellis from USC didn't. Boogie Ellis led all most statistical categories for the Trojans, but yet, Bronny James is like 8th on the depth chart in total points or points per game. It just, it just seems to me like right now the Lakers are not a serious organization, and Jeannie Buss needs to clean some house. I'm just saying, because I don't think LeBron is going to make a big difference for championship wise in the next few years. People are predicting that he has 2 more years, and then what? He leaves, and then the Lakers are stuck with Bronny James, who I don't see how he will be an impact for the Lakers. It was all just to appease LeBron James, and it's not just that. It's also the fact that they hired JJ Redick. Are you kidding me? Like, dude is oh my God. I do like some of his takes. I do think he is a bit of a D-bag, just because he is. He's a dookie as well. And he has no coaching experience. Like, this is the Lakers. This is as if UCLA would have gone after, I don't know, me rather than Mick Cronin. It's like, I just don't understand what the heck the Lakers are doing now. And it's all surrounded by LeBron James's influence. And the thing, whatever, he's a fantastic player. But the thing with me is that he just really never has seemed to embrace Lakers history and culture. I mean, the fact that he's just not, when he passed the greatest player of all time, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, for the scoring title, I remember interviews before that saying that, he doesn't really care or associate, or talk to Kareem or Magic. And that's just weird to me. I'm like, why are the Lakers, derailing their organization for one guy who got him an asterisk championship?
Not an asterisk championship.
There you
it's
go.
A real, actual championship.
There you go.
Asterisk championship. It really actually counted.
Asterisk championship.
It's a ring. I have a replica ring right up there on the wall up there. I understand what you're saying, even if I don't agree with like any of it, but that's okay. Reason lines can differ. I just, the whole Bronny thing to me would be nothing if it wasn't embroiled in the overall conversation about LeBron James, in itself. And it's like, really, like it's so polarizing now, and that people either love him or they hate him. And I just can't get over the fact that the dude is, inarguably one of the top 3 players in the history of basketball. And inarguably, he's come to the Lakers. He's been a Laker for 7-8 years now, won a title, gone to a conference final, and yeah, there have been other seasons where they underachieved or whatever, or didn't do how well they wanted to. But why a giant chunk of Laker fandom hasn't embraced him? When, like, I know you're saying like you rubbed your own way when he broke Kareem's scoring towel. I don't remember those stories you're pointing out, so maybe that would make me feel different if I had read that too. But he doesn't seem any better or worse than any other NBA superstar of the last 50 years, and he doesn't have anything on his ledger that is scandalous in the regards of MJ, Magic, a few other guys, right? As far as like things that would make him relatively unlikable just on a human level. It's just, like I'm a cop. And so like a lot of the cops that I work with don't like him because he had a lot of things to say in 2020. And it's like, look, he can have his opinions. I don't have to agree with him on
And
that.
yet-
I like him in basketball,
Yeah.
right? I'm a fan of him
Yeah.
being a basketball player. But he's a grown ass man. He can have his opinions too, even if I completely disagree with his particular take on that. But the long and short of it is, well, go ahead, Mike.
I was just gonna say I was just being a little pest once again, but notice how he never says anything about China because he has a big brand in China.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, like whatever, you know. And nobody. Michael Jordan never said.
I'm just piling on. Right
No, I know. But like I said, Michael Jordan never said anything of substance ever in his entire life, basically, because he didn't want to step on any of his brands. And, you know, he's lauded for that. And he's one of the great businessmen of the 20th century. I mean, there's no getting around that, even if he was a shitty general manager and a compulsive gambler. Shots fired.
Yeah, right.
You know, and Kareem, God bless him, he's one of my favorite Bruins too. He's he's inarguably one of the top 3 greatest basketball players of all time. But he's also a giant, enormous, and by the way, super smart guy and thoughtful guy. But also, by all accounts, basically, he's kind of a dick. So if I'm LeBron, maybe I don't want to talk to Kareem because, by all accounts, he's a dick. You know, God bless him.
Well,
think
let's
go,
this.
Captain.
LeBron got Wow, where'd that come from? LeBron got pampered his entire life. Kareem kind of suffered through those 50s, 60s, and 70s.
It was a different era too,
tall,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I can
And no one likes
understand
Goliath. I'm not saying that Kareem doesn't have the reason to be. He has. Kareem's justified to be whoever the hell he wants to be. I'm just saying, on a personal level, he might not be the greatest guy to sit down and have a beer with. And by the way, neither is LeBron James probably, and neither is Michael Jordan. These people are unique, unicorn type individuals. You know, they're not really playing in real life like the rest of us. But I think we've spent a little bit too long talking about this particular subject. But let's just let it lie that me and you disagree on this. So whenever you see What's Bruin tweets on this that are either like shots fired at the Lakers or shots fired at the tweet that was shots fired at the Lakers, just know that me and Mike are having our little internal Twitter war, and we'll just leave it at
that. Jake, do you want to know how bad the selection was from a non-sports a sports person, someone that let me rephrase that. How bad was the Bronny James pick? My dad, a lifelong Laker fan, told me, "What the hell were the Lakers thinking?"
That's fine, but like if you go look at, and I totally get that because people want to go to the nepotism angle, like right off the bat. And by the way, is it there? Absolutely, it's absolutely there. However, you could look at 25 draft reviews, and Bronny comes somewhere in at the end of the first round and the end of the second round.
Yeah, I wonder why.
But that's what it is, right? And so it's not even like he was picked inappropriately, right? It's like he was like,
Oh, he was. His pre-draft stats were
he was
boosted.
literally in the hospital a year ago. Okay, like some of the times drafts aren't based on production in the NBA or aren't based in production in college or production overseas. Like you look at the top 10 picks in the draft this year. They're Euros that average like 6 points in the Euro League. You know, I mean, it's like, and they're like top 10 picks. Yeah, like the production part is only one part of the argument, and the potential part is the other. And if you're going to say, well, you got a guy who might be a little short, but he's also the son of one of the top 3 greatest players of all time, maybe we'll like roll the dice on potential. And at the same time, it's going to guarantee that we keep that greatest player of all time on our team and happy for another couple years. I just don't see, first of all, I don't see anything wrong with that. And second of all, I don't see any fault in the overall strategy of it. But like I said, we disagree on the subject, and that's okay. That's okay. And that's all right.
Yeah.
All right.
And
this is not West Coast Bias, so this is the What's Bruin show. Yeah. And goddamn it, people like us.
Started. People like us.
All right. Anyway, Mikey, let's move on from the Bronny. You also had a football recruiting story,
yeah,
right?
I had another basketball, and
basketball.
this came out right after the draft too. Basically, who was it? Fox Sports put out this list of the schools that best develop NBA players.
Oh, nice.
And UCLA came out number 1.
What?
Over Duke, Kansas, Kentucky, Gonzaga,
Go
Villanova,
Bruins.
USC, Michigan, and Arkansas. Basically, they basically took active. What?
You know who loves the fact that UCLA develops great basketball players more than anybody? This guy, Dante Moore.
Go Bruins.
He says go Bruins. All right, anyways, go ahead.
They evaluated current NBA players. They didn't give like a hard date, or like since 2000 or since 1970, whatever. It was based on current players. So that's why, like, for example, Jaime Jaquez has only been in the league 1 year. Kevin Love has been like 80 million. So basically they used this insane point system. I think there were like 16 points, and within some of those they had a tier. Like, for example, if a player had an NBA championship, how many points per game they have in their career.
Nice.
And they even break down some of those. Like, if a player made the all NBA team 5 times, they get like 5 points. If they made it, 2 to 4 times, they get 3 points, so on and so forth. UCLA had 284 points amongst 15 players, which came out to 18.9 points. Duke had 440 compared to UCLA's 284 points. But they have 24 players in there. Obviously not as successful as a lot of these Bruins.
By average, right?
Yes, exactly. And it's insane too, because UCLA currently has 15 players in the league. Kentucky has 27, but they're fourth in this list. And yeah, UCLA has just done that, has had more success. This one, I'm sure this killed a few readers to Bruin Report when I say that UCLA added some of those numbers a few weeks ago when Drew Holiday won a championship with the Boston Celtics. Yes, we know.
Oh, sorry.
And that's his
Holiday,
second title. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I was rooting for him for the Bucks.
I got some love with that. I'm like, I'm only happy for Drew Holiday.
Yeah, totally. Who's the best Bruin? Who's the best Bruin in the NBA right now? In your opinion, IYO.
Westbrook. I would have to, I would say Jaime is getting there, but I think Westbrook. I know he's probably on the downslope of his career.
He's definitely on the downslope.
But dude, but dude has just all-star appearances, MVPs, scoring titles,
and he's wrecked like 7 teams. So I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
I love Russ, but I mean, yeah. No, I think you'd have to say, is it Westbrook? Is it Holiday? I mean, you make a good case for Holiday. He is like absolutely,
that's true,
an all NBA player on one side of the ball, and he's decent on the other side of the ball. And you could probably say the same about Westbrook, right? Westbrook's still, a walking bucket. But everything else he lacks in right now, being as old as he is. Anyways, but I think too, there's not a lot of dud Bruin players in the league right now because guys like Kyle Anderson are big contributors, even if they're not the superstars on their team.
Although Amari Bailey got cut by Charlotte today, so that's unfortunate. So, but still, that's a lot of production that Howland, unfortunately, Alford and Cronin have put in the NBA. Last basketball tidbit, Jake. I know.
Jesus Christ, Mike.
Why are we talking about basketball? But it's official that UCLA is going to play North Carolina in the 2024 CBS Sports Classic on Saturday, December 21st at the Madison Square Garden.
Go Bruins!
So, and obviously Ohio State and Kentucky will be the second game in that CBS Sports Classic. But yeah, that came out today.
That's good.
That came out last week.
Cancel all games against Arizona and every sport, and then play everybody else. That's all I really ask for.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, I don't really care about this Arizona rivalry anymore. So
I need you not to care about it, because that's the other thing that we get ourselves embroiled in controversy with is Mike starts tweeting Arizona fans and back and forth. It gets really petty really quick. Anywho, I'm sorry.
Hey, got to keep it fresh and hopeful. And you got to put you just have to put people in their place sometimes. I'm just saying.
Sometimes.
No cap.
Sometimes. All right, Mikey. Football. Let's go football.
I just said that. My daughter looked at me. She's like, "Don't say that."
Yeah.
Oh, kids lingo today.
Do your homework.
Oh my God. So last night I worked out just a little bit, and so my hair gets sweaty, and I don't know why, but like my hair's like been kind of curly lately, and my daughter Violet's like, "Oh my God, Dad, you look like you have one of those guy perms." I'm like, I'm getting a cut. So
that's a very good idea.
I'm like, I know exactly what you're talking about. That needs to change. What else we got? Jake, let's talk some football. Yeah, UCLA in the last week, they landed a 3-star edge, Epi Cetinelli. Sitten Ilal,
Good job.
I believe.
Is that the final answer?
Straight ball.
Sure, why not? And quarterback Colton Gomino, both 3 stars. Epi, he is one of the best edge rushers in the 2025 class on the West Coast. So that is huge. And just seeing that UCLA wants to continue that tradition of having, great edges. This is a start. We're going to see how they do this year, but obviously you lose guys like Latu, the Murphys. And,
He likes lattes. His favorite drink. He
I
had that
do.
at Pac-12 Media Day.
I did?
No, he did.
Nice. Oh, okay. I was like, I did? I don't remember.
I'm making all of that up
Well-
right now, but yes. I was trying to save you,
Oh.
Mike. Latu likes lattes.
Well, yeah, I saw it with my own eyes, mate.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah. So with those 2 targets, where are they? They were just here. UCLA is climbing up some charts. I mean, what was it last year at this time? I think UCLA was 49th in the nation in recruiting. Right now, where is it? Here somewhere. 38th. Okay, well they've dropped. Obviously, these things fluctuate, all the time because everybody's getting commits here and there. But UCLA was actually in the top 30. Now, if they can get a few more commits, that's definitely going to push them up there. But right, I think at this time too, UCLA might have only had 6 or 7. They have 14 commits, so the work is being done. No 5 stars. They have 4 4-stars and 10 3-stars. So UCLA does have to, make more of an impact. But right now, and we've been talking about this since Deshaun Foster has taken over. It's just completely different. I mean, they have a 4-star quarterback in Maiden Iamaliava. Jaden Hudson is a 4-star. Those are the only 2 4-stars, but you're getting guys like Weston Port, linebacker, Noah Flores, tight end, Epi, who just, like I said, the best edge rusher on the West Coast. This is going to pay off. This is what should have been done. And it's funny, I was talking with Steve Tannen 2 weeks ago, talking about how Chip Kelly, this is basically the perfect job for him because he doesn't have to recruit, and all he has to do is run the offense. He's fallen up. He's the new Lane Kiffin.
Definitely. Son of a gun.
So it's like, dude, I mean, he's still recruiting. I'm not saying he wasn't. Like last time we actually, I met up with you at your place to do this, to do the podcast. We're talking about how Chip Kelly was just like a few miles away at a local school. So he's still recruiting, quote unquote, but all he has to do is just put his plays together, and he's doing it with one of the best rosters in the nation. So dude is just going to tear up, and that just sucks. But I digress. If this recruiting effort would have been done when he was at UCLA, things would be so much different.
Very likely.
The scheme is good, but you need players. You need players that can run the scheme. It's nice that you evaluate the players and put them into position to be successful. But if you have a 3-star wide receiver going against a 5-star cornerback, there's a reason they're 5-star. They're rated 5 stars. They're athletic. They're faster. They're stronger. Most of those advantages goes to the players who are higher rated, who have getting preseason accolades, stuff like that. So it's not there yet, but it's getting there, and I like the direction that recruiting is going. What are you thinking about this? Like, it just seems like we're hearing UCLA is getting a commitment a lot more than they did last year under Chip Kelly. What are your thoughts?
No, and part of that too is the calendar has changed as well, right? We weren't doing this sort of talk at this time of year last year, but by any accounts,
there was nothing to talk about.
well, I know, but there wasn't anything going on either, right?
No, I know.
But yeah, it's been nothing but on that regard, it's been nothing but improvement under Sean Foster so far, because there actually seems like they're working at recruiting. And Mike, I completely agree with you. That can only be a good thing. As far as recruiting goes, I still have the opinion about recruiting that I've had for a million years. I don't have time to watch a bunch of high school guys running around, so I have to have faith in the job that 24/7 Sports does and all these other sites do, and trust in the I love the 24/7 Composite because it kind of puts it all together. But I'm going to just kind of close my eye, or just kind of trust what the ratings are, but I'm not going to put a whole lot of faith and stock into it until we actually see the guys on the field. Exactly. That's what I'm really waiting for. But I totally understand the value of the projection, and there's absolutely strength in the overall projection of the numbers relative to the other schools. Like, where does UCLA line up? Are they a top 20 class, or are they a top 50 class, right? It's much better to be a top 20 class than a top 50 class, and I'll agree with that 100% of the time. As to any particular player, I have no idea. They're all a crapshoot, in my opinion. Yeah. Because I'll just tell you this right now: the top 5 recruits in UCLA history. Are you ready, Mikey? Jalen Phillips at UCLA is number 1.
Jalen Phillips at UCLA.
Okay. Dante Moore is number 2. Cheeseburger Eddie, awesome Bruin, right? Transfer wise. Josh Rosen, Chosen Rosen, he was a great Bruin, but obviously things didn't go well his last couple of years. And then Mike Juarez, is number 5. It's just like, so it's like the top 5 Bruins of all time, 3 of them were busts, for various reasons, right? So it's like, I'm not getting excited about any 5-star guy ever again, because every time I do, they tear my heart out of my chest. Like if they turn into a great player, then fantastic. But it's not like it's worth it for us to get all geeked up about somebody who's supposed to be the GOAT. And then, okay, we're less than 50% on these guys, right? If you go by our top 5, so I'm not messing that no more. But anyways, I'm very excited for all these guys to become Bruins. I have a few that I'm picking out as kind of my favorite guys I'm looking forward to watch. Mike, if you just look at the incoming class of recruits and transfers, everybody coming in, right? Who just at top of your mind are you like, yeah, I can't wait to see that guy get on the field? If anybody you're excited about?
UCLA got a commitment from Alani Makehele, right guard. He should be slotted in as a starter. That one should be good. Getting some experience at a very key position. Who else? I'm blanking on some of these guys.
I'll give you one of mine.
There was the receiver, Rico Flores. Who's yours, Jake?
Well, Rico's definitely on my list. I'm looking forward to him because I already have a drop in mind. It's very obvious, and you don't have to overthink it. But he will be Rico Suave. Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. So I'm hoping for multiple touchdowns and multiple catches out of him, because he is Rico Suave. The other guy.
Jake's nerd sidebar.
Yeah.
Last week, Weird Al Yankovic posted like a little reel or TikTok with Rico Suave.
Oh, that's good.
Because remember when he did his cover Taco Grande?
Yeah. That's good.
And they were both there. I was like, dude, this is awesome.
That's sick.
Anyway, quick nerd sidebar. Sorry, go ahead.
No, my other one is going to be Quasi Gilmore, because at the spring showcase, I got a picture of him and Malcolm. By the way, Quasi played down the street from my house at Sierra Canyon. So, and I got a picture of him and Malcolm. So I would love to replay, to post that multiple times throughout the year as he makes some good plays. Anybody else for you, Mikey? I got a couple more.
Oh, Ramon Henderson, safety. He just stuck out. He looked really good. Where was he from? Notre Dame, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head. Brian.
I'll look.
That's Brian Addison, the Oregon.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, just he was a UCLA commit way back in the day, and he's a super senior now, so he has one more year.
And he's a super sized senior, 6'5" as a safety. That's cray. It's going to look so cool and weird.
Yeah.
I'm also Ramon Henderson was Notre Dame.
Yeah, and I also I want to see if he gets any playing time. I'm excited about Christian Dunbar Hawkins,
nice.
Cornerback.
Yeah.
Who else you got?
My last one that I'm just going to highlight right now it's a no-brainer based on where we were last year with this aspect of it. But Mateen Bagani, man, go Bears! By the way,
Go Bears!
Another in a long tradition of players we've stolen from Cal. Suck it, Cal, by the way. Screw Berkeley. And we got a good kicker. He came in a couple games into the season for Berkeley and kicked the shit out of the ball. And he is a giant upgrade over what we had. So I'm very much looking forward to him being in there and hopefully giving us a special teams advantage.
And they spent an actual scholarship on him.
Shocking. Oh, my gosh. Oh, Chip Kelly must be gone.
A specialist?
Chip Kelly must be gone.
Yeah. So, so those are some of the guys that I'm quite excited about. And obviously, when the time is appropriate, we're going to most likely give our top Bruins, our Bruin choices.
Yeah.
Why am I blanking on our title?
The most valuable
Bruin
Bruins?
Grande.
Was it? Oh, yeah. No, Magic Men.
Magic Men, yes, our Magic Men, yes. Yeah. So we're going to be giving those out a little later. I just saw this too. Sorry. One last guy, Ruben Unije. He was at the spring showcase, not spring showcase, Friday Night Lights.
Yeah. 6'6", 310
No, it was
pounds.
the spring showcase. I'm sorry.
Offensive tackle.
It was the spring showcase, actually.
From Louisville.
And transfer and committed the day of or the next day.
That's awesome.
So, he's expected to be a starting left tackle. Huge position of need. Those are guys I think that are really going to be able to make an impact.
Nice. Okay, good. And then you also wanted to plug the other story, the series you guys are doing over there. Sorry about that. The most important Bruins, right?
Yeah, just 30 most important Bruins, like we do every year during the summer. The contributors at Bro give their takes on who the 30 most important Bruins are based on whatever criteria we see fit, and that's currently out. The opponent primers was also wrapped up last week. So if you want to check out who UCLA is playing, especially the newcomers who you might not know about, the Big Ten Conference teams, give that a quick read.
Yeah, very good.
Hi, bro.
A couple other odds and ends. Oh, one more thing I want to do before we just get to the odds and ends, Mike, is just we're getting into the prediction season now, and lots of different outlets are now doing this is how we think the Big Ten is going to shake out, yada, yada, yada. And obviously, I don't think any of us have any reason to believe that UCLA will be relevant on a national level this year. It's just not in the cards, right? I mean, we're all going to be... No. We're shooting for a bowl game, and I think that if they make a bowl game, to some degree, 6, 7, 8 wins would be, what we're all going to be like. Hey, that's a very nice sign for this program moving forward. And below that would be like, darn it, we didn't make it. They're over under right now. Win total is like right at 5 or 5.5, I want to say. So overachieving would be getting to a bowl game, according to most of the odds books, odds makers, and certainly according to a lot of the outlets. But just as we're getting into prediction season, just a smattering of an example here, their rank in the Big Ten, according to different outlets, right? College Football Network's got them 12. Badger Wire, whoever Badger Wire represents, has them 16. Phil Still's got them 14. Feldman and Stu on the Audible think they're going to be one of the worst teams in the Big Ten. And a lot of this is also based on the really tough schedule that they have, right? Cover 3, same thing. They just did their podcast the last couple of days talking about who do they think is most likely to really struggle in the Big Ten. And Fernelli and Bud both had UCLA as a giant struggle team. Athlon's got them 14th. But you balance that against, the early rankings on the advanced stats rankings have them a little better than that. And I think that since Deshaun Foster's got there, the worst case scenario was still in play. First year coach, you lost your defensive coordinator, you lost a lot of the talent off of a very good defense, and the offense was not very good last year, right? If you just look at all the generic plot lines for UCLA, it's no wonder to me why a lot of the national outlets are just like looking past the Bruins, because why would they have any reason to look closely at the Bruins this year anyway, right? This is one of those cases where exactly. On paper, they have horrible circumstances. But one of the advantages I think we all have by being a little too close to it this year is we can kind of look more into the nuance of the situation. And I will be very surprised if the Bruins are as bad as people say they're going to be. And I think we're going to have a little bit of a positive season here, a nice building season. But I'm looking forward to it. Mikey, do you have a different thought on that, or are you kind of aligned with me on that?
No, I'm definitely aligned with you because, I guess, like you pointed out everything. You lose your head coach / offensive coordinator. You lose your defensive coordinator. New coach, first time coach, new system with Eric Bieniemy. The defense is basically going to be the same, but you lose key components. I think UCLA is going to do better than what most of the pundits are. But yeah, like you said, there's absolutely no way they're going to make national headlines.
Like they definitely
it's
have a
just
hard
not
ceiling
there right now.
Yeah, they have a hard ceiling, but I think they have a chance to, to keep that ceiling above the, above 500 for sure. And I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And a lot plays
exactly.
out to how, like I said this on, I don't remember if it was a listener, subscriber only podcast or not, but you look at the schedule. There's only a couple games that I think are slam dunk wins. Indiana, Hawaii, and really just Indiana, Hawaii. I think those are the only slam dunkers. Like their floor, sadly enough, is probably 2, right? But you look at the games that they're absolutely going to lose, and really, to me, it's just that 3 games stretch of the Oregon, the Penn State, and the LSU. Like we don't have any reason to believe that they could win those games, right? So I think that the ceiling is no greater, that they can't possibly get better than 9, and I don't think they're going to get to 9, by the way. But like that's the ceiling. But I think all the other games there are kind of 50-50 games. And I'm talking about Iowa at home. I'm talking about the Minnesota game. I'm talking about the Rutgers game. These are all teams that if the Bruins are better on offense, and we all think they will be because they were completely hamstrung by more Dante Moore last year. I'm sorry, Dante, but that's just the way it was.
Go Bruins.
And so, like, there's a chance for the offense to be surprising if Bieniemy, the biggest problem, we've talked about this before, but it's because they're going to a whole new offense. We really don't know what to expect. But if the offense is decent, I think they're going to be fine in these games because they're not taking on any ginormous offensive powerhouses, right? So the defense can only be so bad. The defense can only give up so many points when Iowa's running into the line for 3 yards and cloud of dust every goddamn down. So, we'll see. Rutgers supposed to be a strong defensive team. Iowa's supposed to be a strong defensive team. Like the offensive juggernauts are not out there right now, other than the games that we think they're going to lose anyway. So I don't know. It's a long way of saying, sorry to keep it so long, but that, we're going to hear a lot of negative things going into the season. And I think that that's good for the Bruins because that'll keep them, under the radar and allow them plenty of room to overachieve. And I think that's nice. And then go into the next year with some more buzz, with the recruiting victories that they're already getting.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mikey.
And then in the next few years, hopefully those players, the quality of player, the quantity of players are going to develop into what could really help UCLA. If hopefully, fingers crossed, they put together a solid football team. This is just all good for UCLA.
Yeah, I agree.
It's also good that they're not completely sucky and everyone's not picking them 18th.
Yeah, it's hard to be worse than Purdue and Indiana. We'll see. Although Indiana just got a whole new coaching staff, so we'll see how they're looking. I'm looking forward to looking into Indiana. Mikey, a couple the odds ends now. One of them is UCLA's been releasing a bunch of fashion tweets, and I've seen some pretty sick shoes, like some all gold shoes and some white shoes and stuff. What have you thought about the new uniformy stuff that's been coming out about UCLA? I mean, it's been pretty awesome, right?
I like it quite a bit, but I specifically like the fact that they are kind of pimping the hell out of this this brand. Really using Jordan brand to its full extent. And the gold, the tweets and the pictures of the gold shoes that came out a few days ago, I mean, those are just gorgeous. I'm like, I have no reason to wear cleats. I want to get them just so I can have them.
I know. I want the gold cleats.
And then today they brought out these fresh. I can't tell what it is. It kind of I don't know if it's sparkly or if it's fuzzy, but they're these just sweet, kind of like ice white shoes that they busted out, which I can imagine would be away shoes. But yeah, no, just doing a damn good job with Jumpman and UCLA doing a good job with these fashion trends. So I'm wondering if this is going to lead to Is there going to be a redesign of the uniform? I haven't heard anything. Is this going to lead up to like an alternate uniform reveal? Either way, they're doing a hell of a job, and I think that whatever they have coming down the pike it's just going to be just fresh, as the kids say in the 80s.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. And I'm not even someone who likes. Well played, Mikey. I'm not someone who really likes like Nike gear so much. The shoes are always too narrow for me and stuff. But it always looks really cool. I can't deny that. Like, and as far as like all the other stuff, the polos and the jackets and the shirts and all that, that stuff's gonna be sick. And Nike apparel is A+. So I'm looking forward to all the new looks. It's very nice, and I'm glad that the Bruins have a brand that's not going to go out of business like those carpet bagging bastards from UA. So, screw those guys. We're much better off without them.
Exactly.
Last thing, Mikey. UCLA sent out an email today to the fan base and to the season ticket holders and all that stuff for UCLA schedule themes. So we know what the homecoming game is going to be, for example. Now we know when we know a lot of stuff now about that. So, Mikey, you want to go down the list of what some of these themes are, and we'll talk about whatever sticks out. Do you have the list in front of you? If you don't, I think I have it right here. Oh, I have it right here. So here, I'll say it, Mike. UCLA versus Indiana. This is the home schedule. September 14th.
Yeah.
It's the big opener. It's the Hall of Fame celebration. Let's go, Bruins. All the Hall of Famers. There we go. It's nothing too controversial about that. It is what it is. Versus Oregon, September 28th. It's Los Bruins Day.
Los Bruins.
Thank you, Mikey. You can get your Los Bruins hat and watch them get stomped by the stupid Ducks. God, I hope not, but that's a possibility based on the projections. Any thoughts about Los Bruins on September 28th, Mikey?
It's 2 days before my birthday. Dope.
Yeah, it's 5 days after mine.
Perfect.
There you go.
Yeah.
Celebrating you.
It's right in the middle of Hispanic Heritage Month. So yeah, love it.
Oh, there you go. Okay, and then versus Minnesota, Saturday, October 12th.
Minnesota.
This is where I think we could have made some better decisions. I don't know why they chose to make October 12th Women in Sports Celebration Day instead of homecoming in a game that, like I said, I think Minnesota and Iowa are both coin flip games, but I think Minnesota's a little more in the, Bruins will be more likely to be favored in that game. They're almost certainly not going to be favored against Iowa. And I like a homecoming game where you're favored. But
yeah, I don't know about that. Iowa's offense is trash.
Mike, they won 10 games last year.
Great defense.
Mike, they won 10 games. They're not good.
Yeah.
And if you listen to any Iowa prognosticator, they think they're going 11-1. Okay, so Iowa's a good program.
Of course they do.
I think UCLA could beat them, but they're not going to go into that game being favored. I guarantee you. There's no way they're going to be favored. They're going to go to that game and they're going to have, they're going to be like at best 3-3.
Although, think about this from a strategic standpoint. You have homecoming against a big game against Iowa. This season, fans surely should be out at the Rose Bowl better than they have the last few seasons.
I would hope.
I think this kind of strategic because a big game. Although it's Friday, it's stupid Friday games.
Yeah, and by the way, you brought up the other point. We're doing fucking homecoming on Friday against a team we're going to be underdogs against. This is dumb, and I hate it, and it's stupid. There's nothing good about this. Exactly. Homecoming. We can all get there 20 minutes before the game and really celebrate homecoming? Like, you're supposed to be able to tailgate on Friday night in Los Angeles? That's bullshit, man. And by the way, when's the early November holiday, like Veterans Day or whatever? It's after that?
I don't remember.
Anyways, I might be out of town that goddamn day. We'll see. I think it's...
Yeah.
Anywho.
No, that's a good point. Especially since homecoming on Friday. Like, guys.
Bro, number one. You play homecoming against a patsy. And you also, it sucks when Bruins are supposed to be the patsy this year, so it's harder. But, you're making it harder on yourself. Don't do it against Iowa. Do it. Honestly, I wish we could just do it on September 14th. Indiana will be the perfect homecoming game, but it's too early. Students aren't even in school yet. I understand that.
Exactly.
And it's going to be, whatever. But don't do it against Iowa. And he said, we didn't even say what it was. Minnesota will be the Women in Sports Celebration Day, and they'll, get all the girls teams out there, and that'll be fun. But that should have been for November, not for October. And then against SC, November 23rd is a blue out. And then
this is interesting.
What's that?
the blue out because
Well, we
whether
always
the
wear
game's
blue.
at the Coliseum or the Rose Bowl, everyone always wears blue, but there's also a lot of USC fans at those games. How are you going to do a blue out?
Well, I mean, it's a blue out for half the stadium. Like, it works out good. It's good. I'm fine with that.
All right.
But I understand what you're saying. Like, it's hard to do. It's not going to be a blue out. It's going to be like a blue half blue, half blue day.
Yeah.
But then the last one, Fresno State against those darn Bulldogs, November 30th, the stupid game at the end of the season, where we have to, normally we're playing Cal, and now we're playing Fresno State. What a step down. Wine and cheese to Pabst Blue Ribbon and, cigarettes, whatever. Anyways, it's Veteran and Armed Forces Appreciation Night.
Pabst Blue Ribbon and Beatties, DeJarums.
It's more like cigarettes and inhalants, right? Cans of Freon. Anyways, I'm so mean.
It's like, hey, let's have some Steel Reserve. None of the drunkenness with all the hangover.
All I'm saying is they went Veterans and Armed Forces Appreciation. They probably should have done Law Enforcement Day too, so that way there'd be law enforcement in the crowd to help with all those, classless Bulldog fans. They're probably going to be, throwing bottles and things.
Yeah,
that might have been a better.
Those jerks.
Just add us all in there, But that's Veteran and Armed Forces Appreciation Night, so we have that to look forward to. So those are the themes for your season of Bruins football, the 2024 season. We'll see how it goes. I do not like the homecoming day date. Otherwise, it's fine. It's cool. It's whatever. Mikey, I gotta know.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
That's it.
All right. Well, let's get to what's brewing with you.
What's brewing with you? You ask me. What's brewing with me? Yeah. What's brewing with you? What's brewing with me? What's brewing with you?
Mikey, you've had a tough few weeks. Is there anything?
Yeah, a little bit.
Is there anything good brewing with you?
No.
Damn it! I'm sorry. That's a shame.
Not at all. That's a negative, Ghost Rider.
Okay. That sucks, bro. Sorry to hear it.
Yeah, it's just been rough with one thing after another, and it's just like, dude, can we just stop? Oh, and I'm in East LA, so it's the fireworks central. So, the fireworks season started on Memorial Day, and it gets increasingly more, not like physical assault, but it's just been more violent the closer we get to Independence Day, which is in 2 days.
I was in Canada, Mike.
Go America.
You wouldn't believe the fireworks that were on sale in Canada. I was like, holy shit. But anyways,
yeah, well, they have universal health care. They have free health care. Of course they can afford that.
Anyways, I'm sorry, Mike. Continue. Don't get shelled in your own neighborhood.
No, it's just been it's just one thing after another. But no, it's been pretty exciting because I have it's summer, so take the kids out, going to the beach, going to museums, going to shows, just getting out there. Even though it's hot and it sucks. I do like certain aspects of the summer, especially like outdoor concerts, like jazz in the park type deals.
Yeah.
So we, try to do that often, but at the same time, also already preparing for this next school year, especially since my oldest is going into high school, and I'm quite excited. So, I'm going to be going to a lot more high school football games this year. I try to go to a lot with my alma mater, Bosco Tech, but it's going to be even more. And I can't wait, and I'm going to be so exhausted, but it's going to be awesome. I just love football. Screw summer. Let's get to the fall. Let's just do this. Mm-hmm. So, not a lot I've done. This was cool. I think I've told you about this one guy, Christian James Hand, who does this thing called The Session. Well, a week from this past Sunday, he was at the Bourbon Room in Hollywood, which is actually a really cool spot, Jake. You got to check it out. Next time he does one of these, I got to drag you and Sarah or Bill along, because it's just
for sure
a cool, just a cool event. Basically, what this guy does, he gets the stems or the individual tracks of certain songs, and he shows how each track was recorded, gives history on it, puts them together. It's like, this is just the drums with the bass, and you can see how it flows, blah, blah, blah. This is the guitar. Here's the synth. Here are the isolated vocals. And so he started off with Joy Division's Love Will Tear Us Apart, and damn, dude, I love that song before. Afterwards, I was just like blown away. I'm just like, it's crazy because he points stuff out that you didn't notice, and
Right.
now that you know
Now
it's
you
there,
hear it.
now you hear it.
Mikey,
And
I'll tell you
then-
this right now. Sarah would not go to that. Bill would not go to that because they don't have attention span for. Well, Sarah
Screw it.
is not interested in it.
You're coming with me.
But I will absolutely go with. I will absolutely go to that with you. And so yeah, hit me up.
The next one he's
That
doing
sounds
is Blue
awesome.
Oyster Cult.
Oh.
The next one he's doing is Blue Oyster Cult and the Cult.
Oh.
So that should be. But yeah, but then he went into Blue Monday from New Order. And he just broke down everything. And it is, for a dance song, it's pretty simple. But then when he broke it down, you're like, oh my God, this song is actually way more freaking complicated.
Yeah, there's a
than
lot of
just your
stuff in there.
Normal EDM. But that was cool. That was a positive that came about in the last few
One good thing.
yeah, seriously. Jake, what's brewing with you?
I have a lot of stuff that's been brewing with me because I just came back from Canada, 3 weeks, Toronto, Montreal,
you don't say.
Quebec City. And then after that, immediately when I got back, I had to go to Berkeley and move Megan out of her apartment by myself, which was cray. I coincidentally, also, I am posting a podcast about that. I did like a live podcast of me doing it. So that'll go up.
She's still in, she's currently in Paris right now, right?
She's in Paris, so she could not help. Yes. And so we had this weird thing come up where the apartment that she was in got sold, and then the new owners offered everybody in the building a payout to get out, basically. And they made it kind of an offer we couldn't refuse. And so, but it was one of those things where it's like, Sarah had to work. Malcolm and Molly were busy. Megan's in Paris. I don't know anybody in the Bay Area really that I could like lean on for something like that. So it was just me going up there, packing Megan's entire apartment, and then putting it into all storage, and then and then we're gonna have to move her into the new apartment we got for her in a month. So it's like it's not done, but it was worth it. Is basically what it was. So I did record a subscriber only podcast for that I'll publish tonight as well. So if you're interested in that, of course, patreon.com/whatsbruinshow, whatsbruinshow.com, or on the Substack, whatsbruin.substack.com, I believe. But so that happened. And then I also want to do something on the Canadian trip, but the Canada was awesome. Like it was a little too long for the kids. Yeah, it was a little too long for the kids. Malcolm and Molly were done after we got done with Quebec City. But all three of those cities were really cool. And my favorite part about Toronto was I was able to go to the locations that were in Scott Pilgrim versus the World and like take pictures of myself and like Pizza and at like the stairs where Captain America, what's his name, Chris Evans, like skated down and killed himself. Doing on the dare from Scott Pilgrim and Casa Loma and all that stuff. It was awesome. And Quebec City is like an old French or an old European village. It's so cool. And then Montreal is the coolest. It's like
I always wanted to go there.
The super cool cosmopolitan city, a big city, but still with like little city vibes. I loved it. So everything about it I really enjoyed. So it was a very nice trip. So yeah, that's really what's been brewing with me. Now I'm looking forward to kind of getting back to doing the show and sinking my teeth into UCLA football and stuff.
Football.
And I'm looking forward to watching you at Big Ten Media Day, which we just talked about off the air. You're going to be heading out there. I am sad that I won't be able to go this year. I'm hoping I can go next year. But I'm looking forward to hearing what you do out there, man. So we'll have a lot more coming up soon.
Indianapolis. That should be weird.
What's that?
First time in Indianapolis, so that should be weird.
Yeah, I'm really bummed I'm not going. But anywho, I'm looking forward to hearing about your trip. We're going to be back now on the regular. The vacation's over. Mike, thanks for doing that interview while I was gone. We'll see what we actually get done in the next month or so, but it will all be pointed towards the 2024 football season. And Mikey, I hope your July is much better than your June. I guess that's where we'll leave it.
Better be.
Yeah, right. I totally hope so. All right. Well, until next time, if you're a subscriber, there'll be some bonus shows in there that are about my travel schedule. Hope you enjoy those. Otherwise, we'll be back next week. Maybe or maybe not with a guest. There might be another feed, another show on the feed this week as well, depending on how that comes together. But until next time, Mikey, what do we say?
No Bruin.
Good evening.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
That was the What's Bruin Show.
Try us tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
It's gotta be in or out, Mom. In or out.
Well, I need the door closed.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Dude, Brock, we play some ball on the West Coast.
The final word is boob.